Hello YouTube, we are back in the epilogue of the game. This will deal with the Titans and stuff. Just behind this gate was where we were just now, out in sort of the end celebration area thing. And luckily that puts us right next to where the Brotherhood of the Dragon set up their shrine, just over here. If you remember, Consular Frodark Steelstar. What an awesome name. Consular Frodark Steelstar. Lovely. Okay, so basically we were going to kneel at this weird kind of statue of glint thing. Go stand inside the ring. And she wanted us to talk to her after we came back from the Ring of Fire. So there she is. What does she have to say? Vision of Glint. Titan Lord Everisso Sectus and his army are amassing numbers out in Mineral Springs. We expect that as soon as the army is big enough, they will attempt to overtake Drachna's Forge, break through the ranks of the Titans to find the Lord and the rest of his underlings. Killing the Lord would put a huge dent in the Titan forces and convince the rest of them to retreat. So that's not actually very descriptive of what's going on, really, is it? It just kind of throws you straight in there. As a friend of Deldrimor dwarves, it would be my honour. Oh, here we go. Okay, your escape from the volcano's caldera was no accident. Everything has unfolded as I knew it would. The Flameseeker prophecies have been fulfilled, and the evil machinations of Vizier Kilbron have been put to an end. But a threat still remains. The Titans, the Lich loosed upon the world, are causing more trouble than even I could have foreseen. The world is not yet safe, and you still have work to do. Where would you like to start? Okay, so I think she's meant to say that first, but because of the way accepting quests works on this game, it kind of skips it a little bit. Okay, so then we're meant to talk to her about defending Drachna's Forge. So there's a Titan Lord, and his entire army are amassing in a place called Mineral Springs. And we will go there soon enough. But first, just before we go there, for the first of these quests in the epilogue, we've got these funky new weapons that I really want to customize. So I'm going to go to Sarad, this guy here, and customize it. You'll see my skills. Basically, I just I'm not going to be using consumables or anything anymore now that I'm not in the challenge. But I can't really be bothered to go and get loads more skills, so I've just kind of made do with what I've got. My elite's pretty crappy, so I've added a Signet of Capture. It's pretty crappy for team environment anyway, so I've added a Signet of Capture, so next time we kill a warrior boss we can finally go get another elite skill, because you remember back in Chrysler I bought loads of Signets of Captures. I may have gone a little bit overboard. I originally thought that just we'd be coming across a lot more bosses and I'd just grab them as we went, but that's not how it worked out. So anyway, let's customize the axe. And we may as well also go to a merchant just before we leave here. Gotta love Drachna's Forge. Oh, and you know what I completely forgot to do, even though I said on the mission, it took me so long to do that with a ritualist on Hell's Precipice, I went and forgot again. I didn't have Charlie out for that final mission, so he wasn't there in the cutscenes or anything. Sorry, Charlie. Oh well, there we go. Nobody really cares about Charlie anymore. What have we got? We've got 6 Massart tokens. A now all but decimated race. There's only a few Massart left. Massart garments, some wands, some Titan armor, a salvage kit, some stone summit stuff, a molten claw, decayed ore emblem. We've still got some shining blade left, which I might use if we find ourselves in a bind. Actually, I might use those on one of the quests that takes us back to Ascalon. That could be quite helpful. And of course we've still got a Deldrimor talisman, Gwen's broken flute, and a red iris flower. I'm not sure why I'm still holding on to those. When I originally picked them up, I thought they were one of the items that would give you access to a new quest in the expansion to the game, but it turns out it's not, and I've just been holding on to them anyway. One other thing just before we leave, let's read the Flameseeker Prophecies, because this book's complete now. Our journal is finished. But there was one last page, Hell's Precipice. This was obviously, when we read it we'll find out this was written when we were on the boat or that's at least when I think it was written, after we escaped from the Fire Island chain as it was swallowed in an eruption. Okay. I raged on to Hell's Precipice with the Lich taunting me the whole way. He threw Titan after Titan at me to slow my progress, while opening portals to every corner of Tyria. He sought to conquer the world with his new power, but by disabling the Titan portals, I halted his horde's invasion. To my dismay, I found myself having to fight against Prince Rurik, whom the Lich cruelly reanimated to do his bidding. Unable to defy his new master, Rurik attacked in a mindless fury. In the end, I defeated the prince, releasing his spirit to the mists. I pressed on, heading back to the open door of Kamali for my final confrontation with the Lich Lord. After an epic, epic, not very epic at all, struggle, I killed him on the Bloodstone itself, so he would never again trouble the waking world. My task is complete. What lies in store for me next, I cannot say, but for now I head to Drachna's Forge to bring King Jarlis news of our victory, and news of his brother's death. But he took that quite well, I think. Okay, enough of that, let's get on with the quest. It is called Defend Drachna's Forge. Basically, there are still a few Titan armies that managed to get through those portals before we destroyed them, and the first one that we're going to be destroying is one that is going to try and destroy Drachna's Forge. Now, if we look at the map, you can see that they are all the way up here in the Mineral Springs. When we were in this mission, the Iron Mines of Molajune, we came up here just before fighting Marcus, and we were at this lake, and I said, oh, there's an explorable area over there, it's nice to see it from a different perspective. And basically we're going to be going to the other side of that lake now, but because that's in a mission we have to go a different way, so we're going to return to the Copperhammer Mines. I've already read that, so I actually, to be honest, I can't remember what it said, but there you go. But we're going to be starting from Copperhammer Mines. You remember I said when we were here as well that there was another exit that you could leave and go to the north. I actually can see now that it's not the north at all, it's the west, but there you go. And it will take us to this place here called Spearhead Peak. But finally, this is going to feel quite weird. I'm going to use henchmen. Yeah, it's going to feel very weird. Devonna and that aren't here. Oh, that's a shame. I wanted to talk to them. Oh well. Okay, so let's add Alessia, who will be our monk. Let's add Lena, who will be another monk who will protect us. Since I'm already a warrior, I won't bring any other warriors. So instead we'll bring Claude, Dunham, Raina the archer, and Orion the mage. Oh, I can have one other. Alright, who do we want? Stefan or Little Thorn? Let's have Little Tom, sorry, not Little Thorn. Yeah, let's have Little Tom because he's got quite a cool story. He faked his own death to get out of Ascalon and all that jazz. Okay, so let's go out into Spearhead Peak. My build, like I said earlier, is pretty crap, but we'll just have to make do till we can get some new stuff. Spearhead Peak. I'm using Strength of Honor, which you'll remember me using back in the desert, because that will improve my attack a little bit. Oh, I love our new weapons and shield. Look at that thing. I love it. Yes, it's so good. Okay. I'm going to try and play with the party window off because I don't like all the screen clutter. They've hit me with Mind Freeze, which means I can only walk really slowly. This is one of the reasons why I needed Shadow Form. Oh, one of them came to me. This is one of the reasons why I needed Shadow Form. To get through some of these areas, because it was just so dangerous. They slow you down too much. Anyway, we can just keep banging our way through them. The other problem with this, one of the reasons I really wanted to play solo as well, is because it's much faster paced when you're running around in the explorable areas. By the gods, you'll be sorry you met Little Tom. Oh yeah, I remember his accent. Oh, he was the guy back at the Barradin estate right at the start. In fact, he was the guy who first taught us how to use an axe. Ah, his accent there it totally reminded me. Yeah, what was I saying? Oh yeah, one of the reasons I really wanted to do it solo as well is because if you're running past all of the enemies, the pace keeps up. I'm actually not sure where we're going. That looks like a dead end there. But while we're doing it like this, you really do need. It really will be quite a lot, and I'm not sure there's always going to be stuff to talk about. I've said it before, I'll say it again, I really do love this game, but the combat just makes it feel like you're wading through fudge. In fact, I saw an interview with Colin Johansson the other day, and he was talking about Guild Wars 2, and he even admitted himself, he said that Guild Wars 1 was no exception. The combat is just, it just feels like you're wading through toffee, or he said something like that. And it's true, it's very slow paced. Which is another reason why I wanted to keep the story focused, because, you know, if you don't, then it's just going to be watching people fight and stuff, or watching people participate, one of 8 people just gradually hitting stuff. Okay, so we're out in the forest, and I wonder if I can avoid those siege ice golems. Basically, we're just going to be heading as far north as we possibly can. You'll see we've got to come to here. There's another outpost. I think it's the last outpost. No, there's 2 outposts here in the Shiver Peaks that I've never been to, and one of them I won't go to until the mini-series that I want to do, which will do the side quests, which I've talked about a couple of times already. And yeah, that will take us to the final outpost. About that mini-series, I'm still not 100% sure, but if I do factions, then I'll probably be doing that really quickly, because I'm getting a new computer soon, which means I'll be able to render super fast, and it means that I'll just be able to throw out videos really quickly. You'll see at the start of this Let's Play I was doing like 6 videos a day, and that usually means that some of them don't get many views because no one really has time to watch 6 videos a day, but I probably will have to do it at that speed if I do factions, because I'm definitely looking to get a job in this month, so that's just going to be what I'm going to have to do. But yeah, if I do factions, going back to what I was saying about the mini-series, I would do factions straight away, and the mini-series would sort of be something I do kind of parallel to the rest of the Let's Play, and I'd do it sort of, I wouldn't just do it straight away, I'd do it, you know, maybe a little bit after factions, maybe a little bit during factions, because I also want to include a couple of the faction side quests, and by those I mean some of the most difficult missions in factions. They're called elite missions, and they're totally optional, and they're quite fun. They're definitely quite fun to play, depending on the method you use to play. But anyway, yeah, I want to include that, and that's probably what I'll be doing. We'll see how it goes though. So you can see here, I think the idea is this explorable area that we're in now, you're meant to come to after completing the plot, and you can see that the stone summit is still around, and in fact we will come to find out that the stone, just because we've killed Dagnar Stonepate and avenged Rurik, it doesn't necessarily mean that the stone summit didn't seem to be hindered by it very much at all. In fact, their operations continue as normal, and they've continued to enslave creatures and just run rampant around the Shiver Peaks. I think the main difference is though that they were making a lot of ground before we came along and killed Dagnar. I mean, they had Thunderhead Keep, that was the capital, that was dark times for Deldrimor, but we sort of knocked them back, and now they don't have that leverage anymore. But they are certainly still around. The White Mantle though, as we've seen, are pretty much suppressed and gone. It'll be a long time before they can do anything else. I really hope I'm going the right way. You can see a path winding up in the distance there. If this turns out to be a dead end, I'll be pissed. And my team seems durable enough that I can play without the party window on, which is cool. If I do factions, I'll probably be doing it like that as well. No party window. I've been thinking of ideas for challenges. I don't want to do solo again, and I was considering doing something maybe like 5-man. I was thinking of doing some a kind of a challenge that would put the gameplay to something much more akin to how the Guild Wars 2 gameplay is going to work. So I was thinking, you know, no radar, because in Guild Wars 2 you do get a mini-map, you do get a radar, but enemies aren't red dots on it, so you have to be always looking at the actual environment rather than the UI, which is a great move. But to sort of emulate that in this game, that would basically mean turning the mini-map off. And I was thinking of doing 5-man and playing with no monks and that kind of stuff, which would have been cool, but I think that might be a little bit too hard. I might just kind of go with a combination of smaller, easier things. Something like that. I don't know. Anyway, this is gonna probably take a while, so I'll super speed it. Catch you in a bit, everyone. Okay, basically my team got totally pinned down by 3 different groups, so I'm trying to just make a run for it. I'm not going to get very far though. Look at this, there's loads of rangers here already. Unless I can just hide. What is going on here? Okay, alright, this was ridiculous. Oh, I've not played in a team for so long. Oh, and I've not played with just henchmen for ages either. I'm so used to having heroes that can just dominate anything. Okay, so you can see a marker for an outpost there called Granite's Footprint. And that's one of the areas that is built around the side quest that takes place in the mountains. Look, some of my team survived. Only 2 of us died. That's not too bad at all. I'm impressed. Okay, and if I can get through into Granite's Footprint, then I can revive all of my buddies. That means killing this group though. 5 siege ice golems. That's quite dangerous. Oh, didn't mean to put those up. The henchmen are actually a little bit better than they used to be. A while ago, again about a year ago, I can't believe it's been that long already. ArenaNet went through and updated all of the henchmen's abilities and skills to make them more in keeping with the skill updates that have continuously been going on throughout the years. And it actually, it really improved the way that they work. So I'm quite impressed with that. There we go, you can see over there, just down that hill, the Granite Citadel. It's one of the optional, unless you're not, if you decide not to do these quests, it's one of the optional outposts in the Shiver Peaks, and it's also one of the only places in the first game you could get elite armor, which is pretty cool. Wow, my team's getting decimated this time. I'll tell you why that is. It's because there's mesmers. I'm just going to try and run through. Flag my team there, come on. Crippling Anguish is off, let's go. Alright, so yeah, this is a new outpost. And you can get some nice armor here. I won't be buying any more. You've probably noticed I haven't bought any for a while. But that's just the way it's turned out. I don't think there's actually an armor crafter in the Ring of Fire. At least I don't believe there is. Okay, so the Granite Citadel. Ah, see, Devonna and that still aren't here. Damn, that's annoying. Oh well. Okay, let's read the Granite Citadel description. Located between the Stone Summit hotbeds, Tasker's Demise, and Spearhead Peak, the Granite Citadel is a grand fortress held by the Deldemore dwarves. A safe harbour in a deadly ocean of hostility, the outpost here sells relief to wary adventurers. And you can see mineral springs are quite close now. There's one small area we need to get through first, and that is called Tasker's Demise. And then we can make it through. There's some dwarven archers up there. Not much to say really. If ideally I'd be buying the armour, but I just don't want to spend any more money. Let's go.